didn't start it last week, so I recorded the break instead. Because I pushed the button. So welcome to class 2 of this thing called You, where we at a very deep level explore who we truly are. And we always begin everything with spiritual mind treatment. So take a breath. Let it out. And relax. And what we know is that there's a presence and a power of light and love, of peace and joy that is life itself. We are created out of it. It is us and we are it. It is our true nature. We are beings of light. We are spiritual beings created out of spirit. There is a light that shines brightly within each of us, and we open and let that light shine. There is a love that flows deeply within each of us, and we open and let that love flow. And we have great compassion in our hearts. Because always God is calling. And so we know that we release whatever is no longer serving us, and we embrace that greater us. That we do this with love and joy and ease and grace this night. And with great gratitude for being able to see clearly, to live fully. We simply release this treatment into mind, knowing that it's already done, because we have already done the work. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So last week we had what I thought was a really fun class. And I've had some feedback from the process that I'm going to incorporate into our coming back time. But before we get into anything else, I want to talk about books. We have bought the distributor out. And so we ordered 12 books on Tuesday and 6 came. They left yesterday during the celebration. But I do know that it's on Amazon and it is, as of yesterday morning at both Barnes & Noble. We had bought them out last week and they've restocked. They're very fast at that. So as of yesterday morning, they had the book in stock in Biltmore Park and Tunnel Road by the mall, Barnes & Noble. So we can't get any more. We've bought them out. They don't know when they're going to have them again. So you're on your own with the book. And I have great faith that whoever chooses to have a book will have it. And I have found reading the book really, really sweet. So I want to do a little catch-up before we go into further conversation and see how you're doing. How are you feeling about the book? How are you feeling about the reading? Is there anything that particularly touched you? All of it. April says all of it. Linda.
I have had a pain in my side. I went to Rob. It didn't go away. It was gone.
When?
After I got home last Monday night.
Whoa!
Yes.
Yay! Hallelujah! You know, Louise Hay taught us a long time ago that everything that's resistance in ourselves manifests in our physical body, whether it's the body of our affairs or our physical form. And if you let go of that resistance and just hang out in that you're perfect and your love and your light, then whatever it was that hurt goes away. So congratulations. Thank you. Kwan and then Margot.
I did that meditation this morning because I was like kind of sluggish and everything, and I got like a renewal, energy, not an energy boost, but like a renewal or whatever. And I got done what I needed to get done.
Good. Good for you. How many of you have found the process on the website? Oh, it was on the website last Tuesday. the audio part, not the video, because it's dark. And frankly, Nancy Walton's out of town, and none of the video has gone to Devon, which worked out because Devon went to a wedding in Wisconsin. Hasn't been here anyway. But I sent her the process as a separate file, and she hooked it together with a little piece of the class that I did manage to get recorded. So I'm going to send her the process again as a separate file and ask her to keep it separate. So you can go on the website. It's under resources and downloads, classes. It's the first one, this class, audio recording, and you should see it right there, and it should say Class 2 process. And then if you want to, you can play it and just bliss out into it. Because I enjoyed it. What else about the book? Oh, Margot, yes, thank you.
That was the last paragraph of chapter 3. It says, when the time comes that nothing goes forth from you other than that which you would be glad to have returned, then you will have reached your heaven.
Yes.
To me, that's like the essence of Science of Mind right there. We don't need anything else.
Okay, we can go. When the time comes that the only thing comes out from you is that which you wish to have returned, then you shall have reached your heaven. Reminds me of Clella Ann when her kids were still in the house, and she would say something and her kids would say, do you want to live that?
That's way too cool.
Do you want to live that? Is that your demonstration? So yes, Blair.
I think that it has helped me parenting my children, just remembering who I am and remembering who they are. Because
The most divine children that ever walked. Just so you know.
yes,
You do have exceptional children.
I do, and they all express in very different ways, and it's sometimes difficult for me to remember who they are, but in reading this book, I feel like I'm becoming a better mother.
Wonderful.
Yay.
Wonderful.
You always were great, though.
Spoken like a mother.
This is called intergenerational healing.
Yes.
I was going to say, you two know each other.
Helen.
This is something too that's like I've become more and more aware of, like little layers, peeling the onion away. Having been raised Baptist and a grandfather that was a minister, preaching, hellfire and damnation and all that stuff. I really did grow up with God is up there and you're down here, and that concept was very, very ingrained. And also, if anything bad happened, then you were bad, or you were undeserving, kind of thing. So it was very, very strong influence. So, so I'm like continuing to tear away at that and integrate these teachings.
That is so important. One of the things I want to talk about tonight is faith. And how can you have faith in something and trust if that something doesn't like you, is going to punish you, is going to hurt you, because you're basically bad and awful and undeserving? How can, and people say, you must have faith. How in the world can you do that? It's very difficult, and to be able to let go of some of those ideas that say, I'm bad. It motivates so much of our neuroses and our dysfunction, and why so many people have trouble just being happy and saying a positive thought and manifesting their desires. They go, why can't I do that? Because there's something underneath all of that. And to be able to get down there and to do that healing and release whatever the resistance is, like Linda said, and have whatever pain, whether it's physical or emotional or memory, let it go, then that lets us say, well, if I'm not that bad little girl, who am I? Oh, I'm light, I'm love, I'm perfect, I'm precious. Wow. And then everything just pours in, because life has been waiting the door to crack and has been trying to say, here's your happiness, here's your joy, here's your money, here's your health, here's your love. All I want you to do is crack the door a little bit. And so we crack the door, and then it goes, Sandy.
One thing, your talk yesterday tied into last week's class for me. I mean, it tied it in a very neat bow. That one quote that you said, there's nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so.
Right? And a couple of excellent stories about neutral events. Yes, and that was Shakespeare. There's nothing good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. Who else? Where are you up until now with 1 week? Because this was a great week.
Yeah.
Michaela.
I just wanted to comment on that nothing's good or bad or thinking makes it so. So I've never really been able to read Shakespeare, but I haven't had the inventions too. But I really want, all of a sudden I just got the desire
To read Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. Isn't it wonderful for us to have the opportunity to watch a child have her needs met?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Troy.
I haven't read, I've read the book before, but I'm just into the 3rd chapter. Yeah, and ever since I got deep into spirituality, I used to be able to read really fast. And now my ability to read, I stop and I reread and I absorb, and I can't read if my life depended on it.
Right, I've got to underline and highlight it, and tag on it, and copy it down.
But the thing about this book is that hits me is the Christian backup or the Christian slant to it from the times. But it's a healthy thing because it shows me that the intent of the New Testament at all times was always a non-dual look at the universe.
Sure. Jesus took the Hebrew God of the outside God, the anthropomorphic deity, and turned it into Abba or Papa. God and I are one. So it was a whole different God that got delivered, along with the Piscean age and all that stuff. So yeah, good.
Most Christians still don't believe that.
I want to, the love versus the law. Right. So last week's, Sarah, did you have something about the book?
Yes.
Okay.
What thought has done, thought can undo. The mental patterns laid down in your subconscious throughout the ages can be consciously removed.
Yes.
That's a lot of faith.
Yes.
So
if you thought it, you can unthink it. And you
Right.
unthink it by thinking something different. Yeah, good. So last week's process, I want to check in with you a little bit about that. I've had a few people talk to me about how they were when they left, but we talked about the process last week, but how did it feel, that night, the day after, the whole next week? Did you have residual effect from that?
Yes.
What was it like?
I was very easily able to go back there.
Cool. Sweet.
Cool. Things were just a little smoother.
Smoother, wonderful. Good.
I felt raw. I mean, I was raw and then I felt like trauma, so I felt very open to what was happening.
Good. Instead of closed, I think that's good. Yeah. Rick?
Yeah, I agree with you. I found it very easy, like in the morning, during my quiet time, I read something and I remembered how I felt, and it did. I just slipped back into that ease,
Good. By all means, slip back into the ease and the bliss and the joy. Drew?
Much less effort in a spiritual practice in the morning and the evening. It just, everything seemed to, it kind of like, I don't know, build up some spiritual muscle there, and you're just like, oh, this is so much stuff. And you're like, you just notice it. It's like, oh,
Good. Less resistance.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Who else? Jane and then Becca.
I just felt, for the first time in my life, that I had parents of some sort.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Because I just sort of ignored the whole situation, and now I feel that I'm part of some kind of a family.
That's wonderful. Yes, you are. Yeah.
I found it very calming. There were times during my day at work that I would stop and just, I'm light, I'm love, and it would calm immediately.
Yes, great. I am so happy to hear that you did that this week. And again, it's on the website, so if you want to go and just play it, then you can do it all over again, and we'll have tonight's on there too. One other thing, just kind of finishing up from last week, I thought I brought you back, but evidently I didn't. So tonight is going to be more extensive in grounding. We had one person go out and said, oh, I can't feel my legs. Somebody else lost the road on the way home and things like that. So when we come back tonight, I'm going to do more grounding. And last week I had a song to play, and I was just so spaced out I forgot all about it. So this week we're going to play the song that I had for last week. And there's a little bit of dualistic languaging in there. And please forgive me for that, but it's from friends of mine, and it's from back in the 80s. So thank you for that. Okay, on to tonight's material. Life will be to you what you are to it. Life will be to you what you are to it. So if you are frightened, life will give you something to fear. Even if you don't consciously know that. If on a subjective level there is an unhealed inner child, not okay child, transactional analysis stuff that is afraid, you will create things to be afraid of. You will create things either out of the blue, or you will attract things that other people would say, well, of course you're afraid. You've got a right to be afraid. You should be afraid. And then you'll get all of that validated, and that just sticks it in tighter and tighter into your psyche. Life will be to you what you are to it. So what are you putting out? It's like what Margot said about when that which goes out from you is only that which you want to receive back. Then you are in heaven. So when, hold on, Michaela. So when you are consciously and mindfully putting out exactly what you want to get back, then life becomes that. And I love to do that with people. Have you ever gotten mad at somebody? No. Very often if you get mad at someone, you will chase them right out of your life. There will be something that happens and they will be gone. And you can take someone, it's good spiritual exercise. You can take someone that maybe annoys you a little bit, rubs you the wrong way, just is not your cup of tea, and you can begin to put out this love and this light and watch them change. And I think that that's such an empowering thing to do, because you can make people. You know how you've always wanted to change people? This is the way to do it. You love the hell out of them. Literally. And then they become to you that love. You find some little thing. Well, what in the world can I like about this person? Well, they came in and they didn't knock me over. Okay, I'll focus on that. And you start building up this idea of appreciation, of love, and filling them up with that. Nancy does that with the kids over in the school. You fill them up with that, and then they become that way. There were great studies, awful thing that happened, but the studies that came out were very interesting, of kindergarten classes. And that was when the school had kids separated as to ability and academic level, and that was before there were laws against such things. And the psychologists or psychiatrists, whatever, decided they would play a game, and they would take the class that had scored the lowest and give it to the teacher of the highest class and say, boy, you know, we really hope you're ready, because you're getting the smartest kids we've ever had come into our school this year, and we hope you can keep up with them, because they're just smarter than anything. And then they took the class that would have gone to that teacher and gave them to the teacher who teaches the, what did we used to call them, the slower or challenged classes, the learning disabled classes, and said, well, you know, you probably just won't be able to do anything with these kids, and just try to get them into first grade at the end of the year, and we'll all be happy. And what happened at the end of the year, the kids that were supposedly not as smart were the smartest kids that they'd ever had in the school, and the kids that came in academically strong were behind everybody else. Because that's the way the teacher saw them, and that's the level of expectation that that person had. So if you're getting in your life, and I always look at myself, if you're getting something in your life, what is it that you put out for that? It's kind of like a big shrimping boat. You put out your nets and you go scoop up in the ocean, and you pull up the nets and you go, oh, this is terrible, I got nothing, I got just seaweed in here. Well, that's because the shrimp were over there. You know, what are you putting out? What are you trying to get out of your life? And if you have more than one person who has you feel the same way, and I always looked at it as, you know, husbands and boyfriends and all of that, that if they all made me feel a certain way, it wasn't them, it was me. And I noticed with my first husband that when he went off to his second wife, he was a different person, because I wasn't there. So what is it that we're bringing out of people and the people around us? Yes, Michaela, do you have a question?
Yes. If it was someone else that did, like, someone else you had before you were born was that way, like
Sure, it doesn't matter.
Your parents were that way before you were born, would it be considered as you created it, or you?
Sure, we all picked our parents. I know that. How old are you?
11.
Yeah, we usually get that a couple of decades after you just We all picked our parents. Anybody who knows about astrology knows that we pick the time of our birth, and we will pick the time that we leave. And I believe we will pick the way that we leave, so don't worry about it. You know, we're going to stay here until we go, and when we go, there's no staying. Nothing can make us, nothing can do anything to us. So yes, the way we see life is what we get back from it. And this is one reason for me it's so important that we do that deep releasing, so that we're not driven by unconscious, neurotic thought patterns, that we're not reactive instead of creative. Because we all can take a neutral event, dump our consciousness on it, and then pull out of that neutral event what we expected it to be. We do it with people all the time. We do it with our money. We do it with cars often. I had a brother who had a car, and every car he ever got, he bought new, and he got the lemon. I mean, there are lemon laws. There are real things that are lemons. And he would get the lemon, and he would get the lemon, and if he didn't get the lemon, he would crash it. And it was never his fault. It was never his fault. But it was his way of seeing the world, and having been around when he was young, it was from an unhealed belief system about who he was and how undeserving he was and how unloved he was. And so he would act that out. So how are we with our lives? And I want you to think about what you've got going on in your life in repetitive patterns. Barb is laughing. Do you pick the same person to be in relationship with, just with a different face? Do you pick the same kind of job to have, just with different people? Do you pick the same bank account amount, even though you change bank accounts, trying to find the one with the money in it? So if you're doing that, then you might want to look at yourself as to not what's wrong with me, but what am I ready to release? What am I ready to release? I believe that I am getting you ready for the prosperity class. And by the way, May McCarthy is going to be here in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from yesterday. And we have a bunch of these flyers. I really would like to see them around Asheville and Hendersonville and Weaverville and Fairview and Waynesville and all of that. She's going to be here. Those of you who took the prosperity class last year, she wrote the book. She also is one of the real prosperity teachers. Edwene Gaines is the only other one I really know of who has used these teachings to demonstrate money. They're not just writing books about it. They're not just having a theory about it. They actually use these teachings to create millions and millions of dollars. So that's the kind of person I want to learn from, not someone who learned this and said, well, I'll write a book and maybe selling the book will make me enough money to pay my rent. There are those people.
Yes. I would be like that.
So what is our intention to let go of? What is it that, maybe we've dragged around for a long time, and I don't do a lot of psychology. I'm really good at it. I could dismantle any one of you in about 5 minutes. But I don't do a lot of that because falling apart is not as good to me as falling together. But sometimes we want to let go of something, and sometimes we don't know how to let go of it. No, I don't believe we need 10 years of therapy. I think we need to set an intention and then trust that whatever we need we will have, and that this will leave us in an easy and healthy way. So I want you to think about some of the reoccurring issues in your life. Is it money? Remember, that's about value and worth. Is it relationships? That's about how much you love yourself. Is it that things, you almost get them and then you don't? You've got a little Murphy's Law thing going on in your life. That's about deserving. So think about some of the things that you may want to set your intention for releasing. And it can be all kinds of things, whatever it is. Just go ahead, and you could just say, I'm ready to release anything that is not in alignment with my highest and best. And I easily and lovingly release it into the light and just let it go, because I don't really know what I'm supposed to release, but I'm willing to let it go. That kind of thing. Morgan.
So you're not focusing on the problem by saying you want to release it?
Well, that's why I don't do this very often, but I know I'm going to put you in a process in a half an hour, and we're going to go through releasing whatever that was. So no, I don't want you to focus on that long term. But last week, everybody kind of went into it just, what's going to happen? This week, I want you to have just a little bit of an intention and maybe do a little affirmation at the beginning that says that we easily and freely release any and all obstacles to our total joy and our experience of perfection here and now. And then we'll go ahead and do that, but that sets you up. You know, this whole thing about science of mind and being mindful of what you say is all about setting you up. You set yourself up in the morning with today is a happy day. You set yourself up by saying today is the best day ever. You look at something that other people are calling a problem and you say, no, I'm going to get a blessing out of this because I'm going to put a blessing in it because I'm going to bless it. And by blessing it, I plant the seed of the blessing I get out of it. Most people are so caught up in damning it that what they get is they get damned out of it, not realizing they put their own damn in there. And they often did it over and over and over again, coming out of their mouth. So if you put a blessing in there, that's what you'll get. Does that make sense? Yes. Good, 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 good. I like this idea that there's a divine pattern at the center of everything. There's a divine pattern at the center of everything. One of the things I love about this book is it's not a, you have to do this book so much. It's just a stop and notice that everything is perfect, everything is whole, everything is complete, everything is love, everything is joy. You know, you've never made a mistake, you've never done anything, you've never had anything taken away from you. There is a divine pattern, and it is unfolding perfectly as your life right now. That you are exactly where you are supposed to be. If you were supposed to be anywhere else, you would be there. Think about it. How in the world could the universe survive the whole quantum physics, time and space thing? How could that hang together if there was something out of whack? If I was really supposed to be, let's say, in California, I know I'm supposed to be in California. I'm supposed to be in California. No, I'm not. I'm supposed to be right here. If I was here, but I was divinely patterned to be in California and I wasn't there, there would be a big skew in the universe. And that can't happen. So no matter where you are, and it's not about giving up or just accepting your lot in life, it's not like that, but it is a knowledge that wherever you are is your perfect place to be. Take a deep breath. Thank you. Whoever you are with is the perfect person for you to be with. It is. If you were supposed to be with someone else, you would be with someone else. However much money you have, whatever you're doing, whatever kind of life you have, that's the perfect and right life for you to have. Now, if you're not reaping the harvest of joy out of that, that's not because it's lacking in your life, that's because you're not reaping the harvest. And most people don't reap the harvest because they don't look for and find that harvest. They often coat things over that are a blessing with, this is not a blessing, this is damnation. And that's my lot in life and I'm just stuck here. No, 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 no. Wherever you are is the perfect place for you to be. Doesn't mean it won't change in a moment. For that matter, some of the biggest changes in my life have occurred when I stopped trying to change things. When I just opened up and said, this is great. My life is great and wonderful and I love it and I'm going to live it fully right here and right now, and then boom, things change. But as long as this is wrong, this is terrible, nothing's happening right, and I have to change it. You better change because you're wrong. I never get changed. It'll never happen. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Good.
The phrase, what you resist persists.
Yes, what you resist persists, and then you miss what you've got. You know, so many of us have spent so many years creating our lives, and if we would just take a moment and look at them with fresh eyes, we would see how great it was. Somebody comes in and says, oh, I lost my phone. Dirty, rotten, rack and Cratchit lost my phone. Somebody took my phone. It's like, boy, this is a first world problem. You know, this is really a first world problem. You can get another phone. I have great faith in you for that matter if you would stop reacting and take a break and let some blood get back into your frontal cortex where you can think. Maybe you'll find your phone. But you can't find it while you're going through life going, I've lost my phone. They've done me wrong. I missed my chance. All of that stuff. So what we want to do is allow ourselves to be where we are, because that's where we are. Be here now, Ramdas. Be here now. Look for the good. Bless your life and bless yourself. And watch how that shifts. Honest to God, if you want more money in your life, now I'm going to get your attention. If you want more money in your life, you have to allow yourself to trust that you will be taken care of, that you have the ability to create your life and that everything is going to work out well. So many people refuse to practice the spiritual principles of prosperity because they are afraid and they think they can be spiritual on all these other points except prosperity, and that no one will notice in their consciousness that they are holding on to fear, and then they act so surprised when the fear demonstrates. You can't do it. One of the things that I learned when I was on welfare and food stamps and giving blood twice a week. You give the blood out, they take the plasma, they chill it, and they put it back in while you're laying there shaking from it being so cold and because you're so skinny. Twice a week, I learned that if I didn't change the way I experienced money, I would never have any money. And I have taught every class since then that if you want more money in your life, I believe that tithing 10% of your money sets spiritual law in motion and gives you back more money. And people go, oh, well, I'm going to do all the other one. I'm going to meditate, I'm going to do treatment, I'm going to do a little yoga, I'm going to maybe be vegan because I can't afford meat anyway, and I'm going to do all these things, but I'm not going to address my fear of money. And when that happens, life takes whatever we give it and gives back to us that fear. And anytime we put anything out, it always comes back multiplied abundantly. So we create multiplied abundantly fear of not having enough, and then we demonstrate not having enough. Whether we wreck a car, whether we have a doctor bill, whatever happens, we end up not having enough. And so when I look at you and want you to be healed at a very deep level and be able to trust the spirit that I believe in. I love Ernest Holmes said once, I thank the God that is, that the God most people think is, isn't. So I want you to be able to trust true spirit, which, you know, loves you just so much and is so trying to give you everything, just trying to give it just like that. I want you to be able to trust that and to let go of your fear. And one of the things that I have learned, and the reason that I use tithing as such an example, is that you're not just giving out a check, you're giving out your fear. You're going, oh my God, I'm going to starve to death here. And what that does is that forces you to see that it comes back, and it comes back, and it comes back, and it comes back. I have not found a way to have this teaching work in 9 places and not the 10th. You can't con spirit, and you can't con the law. So if you're working on financial issues, because you know, I feel like we're moving into the prosperity class, and I feel like this is going to be just an amazing summer. If you're working on financial issues, be willing to give up your fear. There was a point in my life, I think I was in my 30s, where I said, I would rather die than continue to live like this. Poor, unloved, I was in my 20s, frustrated, feeling so out of control and so powerless. I would rather die than continue to live this way. So I will do anything. I will do anything to have my life change. When I first started tithing, I had 37 cents to my name, a 3-year-old child. I was in a Science of Mind center, and I wasn't sure how I was going to get home because that was the bus fare. But I would rather die than continue to live like this. Who in the world wants to live a life of anguish and struggle and misery and panic? I mean, who wants to live that life? And so what we do is we start to let it go. We start to do things that, for me, were very fearful. I remember when I said, I'm just tired of feeling like poor white trash. I'm just tired of feeling that. When I was growing up, food stamps would have been a blessing. They didn't have them yet. When I was growing up, I was not allowed in the next door neighbor's yards because I was unkempt and I was dirty and I stunk. When I was a kid and went to elementary school, I went to speech class because nobody could understand what I was saying. You know, that's the kind of kid I was. And so as I started hearing these things, you can have your dreams come true. The entire universe is right there for you. All you have to do is learn how to direct your thought and direct the law, and you can have anything. What I wanted was I wanted clothing that would make me feel like somebody else than who I was. And so I had to push myself to go into the very expensive stores. And I remember I would go to the Galleria, and I think I rode a bike there. I mean, that was the level of my life. I would go to the Galleria and I would work myself up to walk into the clothing store, of the, you know, the stores that have the tops that are crocheted and things like that. They're just beautiful. And I was sure as soon as I walked in the door that they would have, you know, alarms going off and call security and throw me out and all of that. I didn't realize that in Fort Lauderdale, a tank top, cutoffs, and flip-flops was the appropriate attire for wealthy people. So I would go into the store, and they didn't know that I didn't have any money. They didn't know that I was down to eating one meal a day to try to conserve on food. They didn't know that, and I would go in there, and I would put clothing on my body that gave me a glimpse of a different me, a greater me yet to be. And I have continued to do that and to use clothing as a way to remind myself that I can have my life any way that I want it. But I had to be willing to go through the fear. I had to be willing to stop seeing myself as that child that was not welcome and where I could have my life be the way I wanted it. So one of the reasons that we're doing these processes is to let the fear go. To let the fear go. Because when we hold on to the fear, when we say, no, God is all there is except this one thing that I'm afraid of. God is all there is, everywhere present except here. Then we are creating that in our lives. And so what we want to do is we want to let it go. We want to let it go. We want to put out love. Put out joy. You don't even have to do like money affirmations or anything like that. Put out the love. See the love in everybody. Find something to appreciate in everyone, especially if they rub you the wrong way. Find something to appreciate in it. Practice opening up your heart. Practice reaching into that person and bringing out something that is their special gift. Because you're never going to believe that Spirit is manifest in everyone, everywhere, every when, and every how, if there's one person that you've decided you're going to just put that principle on hold for. Because they are obviously not of the divine. And what that is that's a reflection that there's one little part of you, whether it's a skeleton in the closet or whether it's someone who raised you feeling like there was something bad or wrong with you, whether you've got that old outside anthropomorphic deity that's a guy and, you know, in my mind just woke up every morning trying to screw with me and go out of their way to get me. So whether you've got that kind of thing, to make the jump, for me, the bridge is love. Because that guy wasn't loving me, that guy was out to hurt me. And a lot of other people in my world were out to hurt me. So for me to be able to see that and to put the love out was really very helpful. There is a real you that forever exists in spirit. Did you ever get the feeling, this isn't me? This life is not me. Life is not supposed to be this hard. I'm not supposed to be broke. I was supposed to be rich. You know, show me the money. I was supposed to be loved and cared for and nurtured and not physically beaten and struggling like that. This isn't me. Did you ever get that feeling? This isn't me? Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes? That's because there is a real you. There's a real you that forever exists in spirit. And I think when we let go of all of the fake us's, the stories and the way we should be and what will people think and well, we've always done it this way, when we let go of that, we can hang out in the real us. And what are some of the ways the real us feels? Joyful. Yes. Loved.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So if you're not feeling joyful, loved, and awesome, you're keeping company with the fake you. You may want to break off that relationship and establish a relationship with the real you that forever exists in spirit, where there is a perfect pattern and you're in your perfect and right place and everything really is fine. When we can relax into that everything that we're safe in this now moment. I think that so many of us have spent time in this life trying to protect ourselves that the idea of moving into safety brings up some fear. So be willing to move through that fear. Be willing to let go, be raw and open, and have a little safety to build some faith and some trust. Because as you build that faith and trust, nothing can hurt you. Doesn't matter what happens, it doesn't matter. You get fired from your job, the bank's gonna foreclose on your house, someone says they're gonna hurt you, it doesn't matter, they can't hurt you. It cannot hurt you. Because you know who the real you is. That real you is not touched by outer circumstances. That real you is forever held in the arms of love. And you have a sense of that. You have a feeling of it. That's why so many people's lives went easier and smoother last week. Because they had more of the real them living it. You know, I could go into all kinds of psychodrama and stuff like that. But there is a real us. And we know it. We know when it's not right. And we know when it is. So it's important for us to get used to, even if it's just for a minute, feeling the real us. Do you ever just see a sunset that takes your breath away? And for that moment, you just were there. You didn't know what was going on around you. That's the real you. Not the one that's thinking about what they have to do and what the time schedule is and where they have to be and who's doing what and, oh my gosh, I need to go. No, you just are there. That's the real you. And I'll tell you, that real you has more power than you have ever dreamed of. That real you is free. That real you is rich. That real you is healthy and happy and whole. And so what we do is we start letting go of the old ideas that says, that's not me. Yes, it is. I can't be that happy. Y'all are crazy over at that center. Y'all are happy, you're crazy. It's the real us. And if we could let go of the fake us, we would all be happy. We would all be healthy. We would all be wealthy. We would all be in our joy. We would all be in fantastic relationships. Because you can take anybody and turn them into the love of your life. What you do is you let the love of your life flow out toward them. And it bounces off of them and comes right back to you. And you go, oh, I met the love of my life. That's because you let the love come through. And then the law of attraction kicks in and you have some wonderful person. And maybe to begin with they were going to be awful, but you turn them into this great person. Because you let yourself love. You let yourself build a bridge. Does that make sense? Yes. Good, good, good.
So, Barbara?
Yes,
Karen.
Karen.
I don't know if this ties into this or not, but what I've been thinking about as you've been talking, and periodically I forget this, so it's nice to be reminded of it. But in my early 20s, at some point, I read The Road Less Traveled by M. Scott Peck. Yeah. And the only thing I remember from that book is once you accept that life is difficult, then it becomes easy. And I kind of took that on in my early 20s, and then I kind of forgot about it when life got really, really difficult. But to me, it kind of connects in a similar way that if you just accept that things are going to be difficult, then it becomes easy because you don't spend your time worrying about life is difficult. And similarly,
I just have a hard time setting myself up for life to be difficult. It's like pain is a given, suffering is optional, that kind of thing. So I think where he's going with that is to not resist the way life is. It's very Buddhist.
Right. Yeah.
You know, the first basic premise of Buddhism is that life is suffering. And they say that so you'll stop fighting it.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But again, because language is so important to me, I don't want to set myself or you up with the idea that life is difficult. Because life is not difficult. Life is easy. Life is handed to us on a silver platter. If we would just stop fighting it, then life will show up in ways we've never dreamed possible. We would all be millionaires. We would all be just feeling so great physically. We would all be beings of love muffins. We would all be having the Midas touch that I think I'm going to create an app and then it just happened. I think I'm gonna start this business, and then it just happened because we're so open to allow that energy of spirit to move through us.
Okay, that makes sense.
Thank you. Any other comments? This one I really like because there are often times in my life still today when I say, I have no idea how this is going to work out. I just don't know. You people think I'm so competent in this? We built this center without a nickel. We moved into the first phase because we couldn't make one more mortgage payment that paid for where we were out in Fairview and where we were here. It was impossible to cover that one more month. And so we turned the steam up. We had all the workers lined up every morning going, are we in agreement that this is what we're gonna get done this day? We're gonna be in this building. And we, you know, we didn't know what we were doing, but we knew we had to do it. And so sure enough, we moved in, and people think that I just really know what I'm doing. I know what I believe. I know what is true. And the fact that we've got 6 acres and giant buildings sometimes just I marvel at. And when there's a hole in the parking lot and people start throwing out really big numbers, I go, I have no idea how we're going to do that, but I know that anything is possible, that there is a wisdom within me that knows there is an answer to every question, a solution to every problem, and I have demonstrated that enough that I can stand in my trust and my faith that that will work out. And so I go over and I pray over the stream bed and know that it's fixed and fine and that our parking is safe. I go over and I pray over the hole in the parking lot and know that we can drive cars out here, that what is it inside of me that's not safe? What is it inside of me that's acting out that people could somehow be hurt coming here? That's crazy. This has got to be the safest place in the world. So that's what I know. But I don't know the how of it all. So when he says there is an intuition within you that already knows that you are one with good and your destiny is certain. I love that. Your destiny is certain because you are one with all good. There is an intuition within each one of us that already knows that we have gotten to the other side. Because think about it, if there is no time, which we are assured both from the mystics and the scientists that there is no time, if there is no time, then the us that is on the other side of the problem is already here. Think about it. No matter what your problem is, there is a you that has already gone through it, that has already found the solution, found the answer, that is living the good life, having hoopla, and that you have access to that. And Ernest calls it intuition. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I think that I'm here and that the lost child is over here and the wise woman that's already gotten it all together is over here, and then I can stand here and I can either help out the lost child or I can reach out to the wise one, or I can do both. And know that the lost child is not alone. And I used to feel that when I was a kid. I don't know if you did or not, but I would have, you know, fits of despair and just being alone and all of that, and feel like some presence was there. And I think that that's me, reaching back to that part of me to say, oh no, sweetheart, your life is going to be amazing. You're going to have a wonderful life. It's going to be okay. It's all right. You're really special. People don't get you, that's all. And reaching out to the part of me that's already gone through something. So that if there's a problem in your life, if there's an issue in your life, it may be 5 minutes from now that you need to be, or it may be 50 years from now that you need to be. But reach over to that part of time that has already happened. You know, they say we're having multi-universes all happening simultaneously, and it just starts to boggle my mind. But I know that it's not linear, and I know that my viewpoint of myself in this moment is very restricted. and that I don't have to stay there, that I can move beyond it, and I can move into that greater me, that connection with all, where everything is available to me. And I can accept it. There were times I would say I can reach out and bring it in, but that's not really the way that it works. It's already right here. I can open up and accept it. And that's why we have to let go of the fear and the limitation and the constriction in us so that we can open up and accept the good that is ours now. Does that make sense? Yeah. Does everyone have some kind of an intention that they want to start the process out with? Does anybody need help with that? Pardon me?
A release specifically?
Yes. Some kind of a thing that you are setting your intention to let it go. Easily, lovingly, joyfully, but just you're ready to let this aspect or this energy go. Does anybody need help with that?
Could you repeat what you talked about before about a general letting go statement?
Alice, I now I allow myself to release anything that is not in alignment with my highest and best, in ease and joy and love, right now, that kind of thing. I'm just going to let it go, whatever your language is. I don't know what it is, but I'm letting it go. Whatever's not there for me having a wonderful life, just going to let it go. Because I don't need it anymore and I don't want it anymore, so I'm just going to let it go. And it's not a conscious thing, so you don't have to consciously know it. It's not like affirmations that you're going to do things over and over and over again. This is more subjective. You're just going to let it go. Okay, Michaela, this is the last one.
I'm wondering when a person's trying to let something go, is it like you're bringing a new something in also?
Well, there's always something trying to come into you or out of you. It's love and light and joy. And when we have something that we're holding on to, do you ever get afraid and you go, that's constriction.
Fight or flight.
Fight or flight, exactly. So, well, some people say that you're going to let in something, but you've already got it. So it's just language. You let it in, you let it out, you're in the flow, you open up your awareness to it, it shows up in physical form. And the thing is to let go of that has us restricted and limited, thinking that anything could hurt us, anything could be taken away from us, that there's anything wrong in us, anything like that. We want to let that go. Because you are pure, perfect spirit. Yeah.
So if we let whatever that is go, whatever is already in us has the opportunity to grow.
Yes. Yes.
Somebody write that down because that sounded really good.
If we let that go, then whatever is already in us has an opportunity to grow. And the only thing that is in us is love and light and life and joy, peace. That's the only thing that's in us. Those other things are illusions that we made up, and it's time to let them go. Okay, Linda?
A person that I can't avoid in my life that I'm letting niggle at me.
Let your irritation go. We're only judgmental on other people because we're judgmental against ourselves. When we're safe with us, everybody else is safe with us. It's called a disowned self in psychology. That means that if they bother you, you already had it before they showed up. Okay? Anybody else? Okay, let's take a break. Come back ready to just let it go. And wait, we're doing our prosperity acceptance. Thank you. Take out what you're getting to. Thank you, Dee. We're doing this before we go into process because some of you couldn't find your legs, much less your pockets.
Hey, Terry.
Oh, two, Michaela.
Well, we need an envelope.
Thanks.
Anyone needs an envelope?
Just get a handful, honey.
Okay.
Michaela, could you bring a few envelopes?
She's going to take out what you're gonna get. Hold it in your hands. Okay, I'm claiming the room. 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 Because this is a very holy and sacred moment. The way we give is really important. So right here and right now, we take what we're going to give, and we give it in love. We know that we are love. We are created out of love. Love is what we are. We know that our gift comes from us, and so it comes from the love that we are. We give this gift in trust, knowing that we are safe, knowing that the universe really does support us, knowing that there really is more than enough. And we give this gift in faith, knowing that as we give, life takes that gift, multiplies it, and brings it back to us. We are always in the eternal flow of spirit loving life as us. So we take a deep breath and let it go, and know that each one of us comes together this night to make this center all that it was ever meant to be. It is a place of peace, a beacon of light, a tower of strength, and a fountain of wisdom that touches the lives of all who call it home. And so it is. So it is. Stay with me. Stay with me. Because we are not, like some people from a limited view would think, as weak as our weakest link. We are as strong as the strongest one among us. We are as healthy as the healthiest of us. We are as rich as the richest of us. So right here and right now, open up to the idea that all of the people who have come through these doors for 22 years is adding consciousness to our lives now, to our demonstrations, to our breakthroughs, to our healings. Take a moment to get that all the people who are living life connected with Science of Mind or Centers for Spiritual Living are adding consciousness to who we are right here and right now. Take a moment and get it. That we are rich beyond our wildest dreams. That life loves itself by means of us. That all is well. Take a moment to get it. That there is never any block in the circulation and flow. That we are open, clear channels of good. And so I know that everything in these baskets is blessed because we are blessed. We came to planet Earth as a blessing to the world. We came to planet Earth to live the good life, to experience more and more love and joy and life of all kinds. And we claim that now. We claim that by releasing any and all limited ideas, by opening up to the glory and magnificence of God as us. And we say yes. We know that as we give, we receive. So we've sent out this gift. Life takes it, multiplies it, and gives it back. And we open up wide and say yes. I know that this money touches every one of us here tonight. Everyone who has ever been here. Everyone who has ever been to a Science of Mind center anywhere. Anyone who has learned these ideas of truth. Always here and always now. Touching everyone who's ever been here and everyone yet to come. And so it is. I love you. Thank you. Thank you, Rick, for leftover peach cobbler.
Thank you. That was fabulous.
Thank you, all of you people that are going to stay and clean up. I'm planting a seed.
Exactly.
There's
I don't
Thank you. I mean, you're welcome.
Come on back in. Where's Michaela?
By the food.
Yes,
I would start without them, but it's going to be disruptive as they come out. Is it cold?
No.
I turned the heat up. It's actually set at 76.
No, wow.
Yes. All right, I'm going to set it up at 77. I'd rather have you sweat than shiver. So we're going to very slowly start to take the lights down. Who's in the back? Mandy, will you just flip one switch? Pick a switch, any switch. There you go. Very nice. See, I'm starting to program you that when the lights go down, you go to that place. Go ahead and take one more down, Mandy. Oh, I guess I'm going to turn these down. Judith, the camera's not on, right?
No, it is.
The camera is on?
Yes.
Can it see anything?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's not dark yet.
It isn't dark. Wasn't it dark last week?
No.
When we turned out the lights.
It was dark at the end, yeah.
Okay. Who was not here last week? Wonderful, wonderful. So what I'm going to do is take you on a bit of a guided meditation, and I'm going to take you through a relaxation process whose intention is to put you under. And there's nothing that you have to do. You don't have to hold a thought. You don't have to have it be a certain way. You don't even have to stay in your body or in the room. Everybody's out of the bathroom?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and take the last one down, Mandy. Thank you. Great. So you don't have to stay in your body. You don't have to stay in the room energetically. I would like you not to walk around. But there's no big rules to this. It's just a process of letting go. So everyone take a deep breath and let it out. And just take a couple of more deep breaths. No particular timing to it. No schedule. Just giving your body a little oxygen every time you breathe in. And every time you exhale, you just allow yourself to let go a little bit more and a little bit more. And before we start the process, this is the only thinking I'm going to ask you to do, and that is to bring to mind either a particular thing that you want to let go of, or just a general willingness to let go of anything that is not in alignment with your deep state of love and peace and joy. A general willingness to let it go this night and to just give it up to the light, to be released, to be set free. And after you simply think your intention to let it go, you don't have to think of it again. And as you continue to breathe in and to breathe out, bring your awareness to the top of your head, right where the hair grows out of the scalp, or where it used to. Just bring your awareness to the top of your head, to the skin on your scalp. And without any big effort, just relax. Relax the top of your head, the very top of your head. Just let it go. You don't even know you're tense there. And then bring your awareness down your skull, just to be aware and to relax. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes and your cheeks, your jaw. Relax your ears and relax your nose. Just bringing your awareness and relaxing. Relax your tongue and your throat. And then take your awareness to the back of your neck and your shoulders. Nothing to do, just to relax. And you might want to just pay attention to your shoulders or your neck. And if there's anything wound up, you could let it unwind. If there's anything tight, you could just let it loosen. And just relax. Relax your shoulders, your back. Relax those big long muscles in your back. Just let it go. Relax your vertebrae, your discs, your ribs. Just let it go. Relax your chest, your organs, your heart, your stomach, your lungs. Just relax. Move your awareness down your abdomen. Relax your liver and kidneys, pancreas and spleen. Relax your intestines. Relax your reproductive organs. Just relax. And you may want to scan your back. Just notice. Is there anything tight? Just let it loosen. Or is there anything wound up? Just let it unwind. Let your torso relax. Bring your awareness back up to your arms. Just relax. Relax your elbows, your forearms, and your wrists. And then relax your hands. Those beautiful hands. So many bones, so many muscles. Take a moment and put them in white light. Think about all the things they do for you. And be grateful for these hands, for these nimble fingers, for being able to reach and grasp and move Such beautiful hands. Moving your awareness down your torso. Relax your hips, your buttocks, your thighs, and your knees. Relax your calves, your ankles, and your feet. And your feet, like those hands, think about all the things they do, the way they take you. Put them in white light and be grateful for them. They let you stand tall. They bend and flex. They support you in this life. Thank your feet for being such wonderful, beautiful feet. And then relax. Bring your awareness back up to the top of your head. And just let it scan your body. Is there any place that needs a little extra attention? Any place that might be tight? Let it loosen. Might be holding on. Let it go. Just allow your awareness to scan this physical body and relax. And as you move deeper and deeper into this state of relaxation, be aware of your body on the chair. Feel how strong this chair is, how it holds you up and you don't have to do anything. You can trust the chair. And then be aware of the floor under the chair. It's on a big concrete pad. It's being held up by the earth. You can trust the floor. You are being held and supported by life. You can trust and let go and relax. And in this state of relaxation, just listen to the sound of my voice, or not, as I tell you the truth about you. You were born of spirit. Spirit is who you are. You come from the light. You are light. You come from love. You are love. You are perfect. You are precious. You are whole and complete, just the way you are. You are a being of light. You are a being of love. You are held in the arms of love. Always held in the arms of love. Because you come from the love. And you are love. You are a part of the earth and the sun and the sky. You belong to the universe. You belong to life. You belong to love. You are a part of all that is, and you are loved. You are perfect. You are precious. You are whole and complete, just the way you are. You are loved. You are light. You are free, and right here and right now, right here and right now, we let it go. We turn it loose. We melt into the light. We melt into the love. We let go of anything that is not like that. And we feel the depths of our soul. We feel the height of us, filled full to overflowing with light, with life, with love. We are lifted over anything that might be in our way. Our way is made clear, and we move forward with ease and grace because we are free. We are created out of freedom. The infinite is in us. Everything is ours now. We move up into the light. We are held close by the love. We are life, and we are free. We are free to be exactly who we are meant to be. We are held in the love. We are the love. We come from the light. We are the light. And we allow ourselves to be the light, to be the love, to be free. We are perfect. We are precious. We are whole and complete, just the way we are. We are love's own. We are spirit. We are a part of all that there is. We're a part of the sky and the sun and the earth. We are a part of everyone. We move out into this experience of connection. We feel bands of light and bands of love that connect us with every being. We are all the light. We are all the love. Because we are perfect. We are precious. We are whole and complete just the way we are. We are all good. We are connected with all good. All of us is good. All of us is loved because we come from the love, because we are perfect and we are precious. We are all good and we are connected. All the areas of our life are filled with light. All the areas of our life are filled with love. We allow that light and that love to move into our physical body, into every cell and organ and tissue, knowing that it is perfect. We allow that light and that love to move into every area of our lives. It goes out before us. We bring it with us, and we leave it behind, because we are connected. We are a part of all that is. We are spirit. We are the light. We are the love. And we are free. We are exactly where we need to be. We are loved and supported by all of life. We are held in the arms of God. We are held in the heart of love. We are a part of all that is. We are one with all good, and we are all good. We are perfect. We are precious. We are whole and complete just the way we are. We are the light. We are the love. And we are free. We feel that freedom. It lifts us over anything that seems to hold us down or get in our way. We are lifted over every obstacle into that space where we are meant to be. We are free. We fly in the light. We flow in the love. We are safe, and we are love. We are one with all that is. We are perfect. We are precious. We are whole and complete just the way we are. We are made out of the love, and we are the love. We are made out of the light, and we are the light. We are made out of freedom, and we are free. We are who we have come here to be. We are joy. We are peace. We are the divine made manifest as us. We are the perfect pattern. We are infinite peace. We are divine joy. And we are complete safety and security. We are safe. We are joy. We are peace. We are spirit. We are love. We are light. We are free. We soar in the light. We expand out in the love. We touch everything, everywhere, every when. We are one with all good. We are spirit. We are the light. We are the love. We are free. We are perfect. We are precious. We are love. We are whole and complete just the way we are. We come from the light. We are the light. We come from the love. We are the love. All is well. We are held in the heart of love. We are held in the mind of God. All is well. All is well. We are perfect. Every part of us, every bit, we are perfect. We are precious. All of life loves us. We are whole and complete just the way we are. We live in the light. We live in the love. We are the light. And we are the love. We are free. Right here and right now. Slowly bring your awareness back to your body, ever so gently, being aware of the air on your skin, the chair beneath you, the table in front of you, the floor, the people around you. Ever so gently, bring your awareness back into this room, coming back to this universe, back to this planet. Back to this physical form. And maybe you could take a breath. You might want to move your body a little bit. You might want to stretch. Ever so gently bringing your awareness back into the room as I bring a little light. And so as you bring your awareness back into the room, open your eyes when you're ready. Bringing your awareness back into your physical body. Taking a nice deep breath. And opening your eyes. Opening your eyes back into your body. I know it's really nice out there. It's because so many of us are star people. There you go, a nice stretch. Moving your tuchus. Let's start gently. Celeste, can you turn the foyer lights on? Is that you, Celeste?
No, I'm over here.
Oh, Fran? Will you just flip the foyer lights on? Jenny will do it. We'll just start to bring the light up in the room so gently. There we go. Good. And now if someone will turn the kitchen lights on. They're inside the door. Thank you. No, not yet. Thank you, Jenny. The kitchen lights. Oh, Jenny, no. No, thank you. Kitchen lights. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. Well, it's like a cesarean birth, I guess. Okay, back into your bodies. Opening up your eyes. Good yawn, that's good oxygen. Table. Feel how nice and hard that table is. Kind of cool. You know why you get cold during this, even though it's set on 79, is your body temperature goes down because you let go. When you're running, you get hot. When you do this kind of process, you get cold. And maybe next week we'll turn the heat on or something. Talking about very mundane physical things to make sure you're coming back.
Or we can just bring a sweater.
Okay, I think this is enough light for now, Jenny.
Okay.
So, who has something they want to share? Judith.
My thought process is usually like, remember in the 70s the game of Pong? So my thoughts go bing, bing, bing. You know, I'm always all over the place in my head. And this was the first time in I don't know how long that I was able to focus. And all of a sudden, I could feel the floor vibrating under my feet. It was like so intense, and it just carried up my legs. It's just amazing.
Good.
Really good.
I want to make sure the floor is no longer vibrating before you leave.
It's okay.
Yes. Karen.
At some point, midway through or near the end, I was totally somewhere else until I heard this voice call my name twice, back to back. Cool. That kind of just, was so surprising that I kind of opened my eyes for a minute and looked around. And then kind of was able to just go back into relaxation.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. Surprising, but cool.
I think there are beings with us all the time. When we get quiet enough, we can hear them. Yeah. Who else? Betty?
The thing that, you know, that I really wanted to let go of is a lot of physical aches and pains and discomfort I feel in my body, whatever it is that I'm holding on to, I want to get rid of. And the whole exercise of trying to relax just made me feel worse. I couldn't relax. I couldn't get beyond the discomfort I was feeling. So I don't know whether I'm not doing something right or if it's to intensify the discomfort in order for me to let it go. I'm not really sure.
I don't know, I think that whatever you do, you get great value out of it. And I wouldn't overthink it, I wouldn't make myself wrong. You did what you did, you got value out of it. To say I didn't do it good enough sounds old to me.
Yeah, that's part of the old playback is
You're
too.
perfect, you did it perfect. Sandy?
I just feel like I had so many arms wrapped around me, holding me, telling me I was safe and loved.
Yes. Yes. Did anybody catch the new edition tonight? What did I add?
Freedom.
Freedom, yeah. Yeah, your reading was on freedom. Vivian?
I felt at one point that I was like the center of an exploding star, and everyone came in with me, and we all exploded the Big Bang to the new universe.
All right. All just Big Bang.
I feel like focused right in here, like, I can't describe it, I feel like real clear right in here.
Good.
For some reason.
Good. Third eye. Michaela?
I feel so relaxed still. I can't get out of this state.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Jane?
No, it reminds me when I was a little kid, you know, I knew all that stuff. And I had to give it up in order to grow up.
Well, now you can give it up in order to stop.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to start bringing the lights up just a little bit. Bring the lights up. Does anybody else have anything they want to share? Becca?
I just went bye-bye.
I think you went home. Yeah.
I just went bye-bye.
Good.
I came back though.
Me.
I always want to.
I felt an amazing sense of connection to the point that each individual views were not individual views. It was just one whole, and there was no separation. And so it wasn't like my intellectual thinking of connection or threads or anything. It just became whole. All of us. It was just, thank you.
I saw the light. When I said that, it was because I had seen it. I saw that there was light connecting each one of us to everybody else. Anna?
Yeah, I feel safe, and for me was a unique experience for the first time that I...
Wonderful. Being safe was a unique experience for the first time in your life. Wonderful. Wonderful. Who else? Sonia?
I started feeling like I was that caterpillar in the cocoon. And as you were talking, I was getting the programming of becoming the butterfly that I was going to be when I emerged from the cocoon.
Yay. Yay. Your goo.
Yes.
Imagine cells. Okay, so I want everyone to take a deep breath. Let it out. And we are going to have one set of lights turned on in the room. So if you need to cover your eyes, go ahead and do that. Jenny, will you flip one of the switches? There we go. Thank you. I think that's enough. So, to make sure that you're grounded, I want you all to look at the floor. have a wavy floor. Okay. I want you all to look at that wall and anchor yourself in the room. See the difference in distance. See the distance that you are between where you are and that wall. Does everybody have it? Okay, now look at the other wall. I want you to anchor yourself in the room and notice the distance between that wall and you. Does everybody have themselves in the room? Okay, great. I want everyone to get up. Yeah, do some twisting. I think we had 2 people lose the road last week. Do a little twisting. Take a deep breath. Feel your feet. Does everybody have feet? Have your feet? Feel the floor under your feet. You got that? Does everybody have fingers? Yeah? Okay, you won't be laughing out there on 40 or 26. I want everyone to look up at the ceiling and look down at the floor. Is everybody's floor straight? Does anybody have ocean waves for flooring? Good. I love you very much. I'll have this on the web as soon as I can. I'd like to have it up there by tomorrow, but I don't think Devon is back in town. And go back to this space. This is where you belong, in your bliss, being loved. I love you all. Have a wonderful week.